Okay. Well, hello everyone. This is Dave Jackson, and I just wanted to do an update with the TWE package, and I want to kind of introduce a new trade setup. If I'm lucky, when I make this big, all my work ahead of time will show up. There it is. So the number one setup that really we've been focusing on is this BR setup 1, which is the first signal after a short-term trend change. And there happens to be an example right there. And this is set up just as soon as that little short-term trend change happens, any bar with a wick on it, we're going to get a BR signal. Because the whole point is to get in very, very close. In fact, one of the filters I have set up with these first BR setups is to limit the number of bars. In other words, I don't want to see one, and I believe I got it set up to 13 if I remember right, more than 13 bars from that line, because the edge is in being very close to that short-term trend change. However, just in going through this and watching this stuff, there is another setup that I wanted to show you today, and that is a BR setup number 2, and that is when the price is within, and I just put an X here, X ticks of the far SAR dots. Okay, what is that? Big ellipse here. You notice this price got a little closer to these dots than the price did here. And one thing I made a note of, it needs conviction to the trend or extended trends for this. And lately, as you can see just on this chart, there's not a lot of conviction to the trend here. So I will be scrolling back and finding these. Now there's another little note off to the right here, and that is there is a combo or combination trades, and that meets setup 1 and 2 criteria. So right now, this is set up just for this setup number 1, first BR. I just want to quickly review this. So I will be scrolling through, not trying to do every BR signal because I have all the other filters turned off. But here are a couple of these combos. You notice the price came exactly to these ATR dots, there and there. So those are combos. So I've got to point of those out, but we're still only set up for the first BR. And you'll see some of those. And when we do this, I made a box here. I call it a combo signal. And notice these combo signals tend to, this one went 39 ticks up to this little peak right there. So we're scrolling back. Again, here's a combo. Here's a first BR, but we didn't see that one. Same thing, first BR, did not get that one. And you kind of get the idea that we want all of them. We want to be very specific and what we're looking with these extended runs, and we actually got first BR signal, and then we got nothing else. And here's a combo. Again, it wasn't the prettiest thing. Had a big down run, ended the doggone it, as it is called in this package. And wasn't a huge trade, but it was 18 had I had the squeeze background on, it would have been in the squeeze here, but I did count them. There are and it just went on for almost an hour and a half. So they 20 minutes into this thing, thinking this thing's got to break down the downside. Eventually, you have been in on that BR, so just say, how about if I look back at this range? So there's a sell stop, and then and that one went 68 ticks. So I guess I just couldn't resist putting that one in. So we'll keep on going. Back to the topic here. Here's a combo. So I'm going to set first BR, nothing after that. Well, again, and again, you know,
Muted.
Close to these dots. And then I thought one day, well, what if I just put a whole nother copy of the software program on the chart? And that's what I want to show. Going to bring up a Word document. This is the first BR signal after short-term trend change. So this is the BR setting. BR, now we're going to say, okay, we're going to do something different. Now we want to say, I want to see a BR signal when the price is within 2 ticks of the SAR FAR line dots. And so it's a little different. For one thing, I'm going to accept down here maximum setups. I'm going to accept 3. This maximum bars beyond SAR FAR, I made a huge number. Notice up here it's 13. So I put a premium on really close to that trend change line. The other big difference is maximum distance from the opposing bar. Well, all that does is say we're going to take a BR signal in the first BR even if there's not a bar of opposite color next to it. So any candle with a wick, by setting that number big. Notice up here, max ticks to far line, great big number. Down here, max ticks, little small number. So that's kind of the difference here. Let me minimize that. I'm going to go to indicator. Now, I have set this up already. So I bring that. So now I've got two editions of this Jackson Pro TWEM. The second one has those settings that we just looked at, you know, for the 2 ticks from the dots. And all I did now we see we've got a BR signal right there. It's the other way because you've already seen it. But notice on these other ellipses now we've got an extra signal. And so as I keep going on to these other examples, now in reality that's actually a signal over a signal. So there's actually 2 of them there. It still looks like one because they're exactly positioned. But this really comes into play with some of these longer runs where it might be, you know, you may be set up to take, 3 targets, 6, 12, 18, you're done. Well, then you got another signal. Oh, it took a while, but it seemed, and but notice we picked up a second signal. So the combo signal is a double. And we'll keep on going. But this other setup is really when we got a second one because we're within 2 ticks of the dots. And we got a ETL. Dots. So that was a good trade. And then we got a couple more. Notice in this one, this thing did not get one there. You'd actually have to set it to 4 signals to get one right there. And that's actually pretty nice spot. But you can see the advantage comes to the end of the day, starting to move. First signal, when we got 1, 2, 3 more. Trade here, got another trade on this one. I don't think. But there does seem to be quite an edge in a moving market. Now, is there a little, for clarity's sake, I took all that other stuff off. And there's the combo, and then we picked up a couple more signals there. And with this box, activate that. So that's a 20 tick box. So in this case, in this example, if target number 3 is 18 ticks, you know, we know that a 20 tick run is going to get us there. And the target, if we enter on the we would not have made use of that signal. And if you can see that we got our trade there. And so that's 3 trades. Well, it's 360 per trade. All right, went down. And here's when we come to this image and say, hey, let's try that one. Now it made a double bottom and then took off. And you can pretty plainly see 20 tick rectangle. I can be trying to get our 18 ticks. This way, yeah, we could. A third trade, yeah, it looks like it went 18 ticks. So, yeah, how many trades you want to take in a trend? You know, you really want to try to go for 3 trades. Things do. Let's see if this is about the end of this one. There is another market that I wanted to show you just briefly because we have to do well for it. And we're going to take a look at the DAX. And same thing. This is just set up right marked. And again, I'm just going to good runs on the DAX occur at 3 a.m. and 10 a.m. Seem to be some pretty good timing areas for these. First 13 bars, so that disqualifies. Literally. So, and I think this is a good place. That second version. To this. Try that again. Well, not, but I marked them in advance. Okay, it printed that one. Now, it also may be an issue. In fact, let's just try that. What do I want ticks per point market? And what I want to do, and let's see if this makes any difference. Maybe it just 10 ticks per point. So 2 tick offset, fine. It's going to work fine. But on these markets where you've only got 4 ticks per point, sometimes you have to fudge a little bit. And you will be able to measure on here, and you'd say, yeah, but that was 2 ticks. That was 2 ticks away from that. Why didn't we get it? Well, if you go, deep into the program and look at the exact value of these 2 lines, they might be 2.0 reality of working with some of these markets that do not have 10 ticks on that run right there. Yep, it was a little too far away here. And notice this was apparently more than 3 ticks calculated, even though it looks like it's 3 ticks. But this one, and this one came in. And I will bet you money if I set that to 4 ticks, would have that one show up. But you got the concept here. The focus was I going to run into a conflict? Having the same, here's really an ideal area. We're getting a first BR setup. And I mean it is a first BR set. It is just a very few bars after that short-term trend change. And then it just impulses like a rocket, comes back. Here we are on a BR signal. Takes off, another BR signal. How many of these pullbacks are you going to take? Does it reach a point where you say, I don't want to, it's literally, all we got is one tiny little wick on this thing, and it just went like a dart down. And I think that's why Jerry first. I'll tell you a little cheating thing I did. I actually used a different setting on the for the SAR dot crossover. So is within this 3 ticks because it's a different setting. Okay? And that's just it's a little trick to do another signal here. Now, I was swinging at first BR, but this one, because actually had a different setting for the SAR, just to catch that right there. There's my little stop bar. Here is the first BR signal. Notice we're 10:16 in the morning, and we get a little trade out of that. I will trail on these hash lines, and so if that hits my 18-tick target, I'm good, or I'm going to get out of the hash line, which means, just for sake of argument, that did not hit 18 ticks, and so I'm out. But I'm out, I'm flat, I'm ready for the next signal. I wait for the next signal, so there's a second trade, and again, I didn't measure on this one how many ticks. Jerry, that is pretty present. It's just automatic, so you can set these BR to actually, under indicators, there's two of these, FT Jackson Pro TWE, FT Jackson Pro TWE, and that's all that's on there. So there's none of the moving averages and the squeeze and all the stuff that I would normally use, just to make it a little more visually easy to see. But so far I have not noticed any conflicts. I will tell you one thing that's kind of a neat trick to do, and that is in the audio section. You have a choice of 4 different voices. So use a different voice than this other one. And that way, when you get a first BR signal, make it a female voice. When you get these that are getting close to the SAR dots, use a male voice. Then you're going to know when this thing goes off, warning BR in a male voice. Oh, I already know what the setup is. Or warning BR in a female voice. Oh, I already know what the setup is. So it's an audio heads up in terms of which setup you're looking at. So, Jerry, if you are there, I think I am ready for you to take things over and see if there's any comments or questions. And I don't think so. So, Jerry, and if you have any comments or questions yourself, it's the mic is going back to you.
Hey, Dave, thanks a lot.
Okay, I didn't know if I caught you on a break or something.
No, it just takes me a while to click the icon. It takes me 20. I know it seems like an
Okay, I know, but those are some, given what it is per tick in the DAX, those are, as you would know, some pretty good trade, in euro dollars. But but if you have any comments, please make them, and otherwise we'll just turn it back over.
Well, first and foremost, thanks a lot. Another great session. In fact, I was going to comment on the DAX. This setup that you covered today in both the Russell and the DAX, and I mean, I'm sure you can do the same thing in any market. You just two markets to illustrate it. Once again, is a great example of the power of simplicity. I don't know that you could get any simpler than this. And then that's the whole idea. If it's simple, it's robust, meaning it's not going to break, it's not going to work today and not work next month or next year. Now, as volatility changes, yeah, you may have to tweak it or change it just a bit, but that's the whole point. It's just that's something that is part of trading or part of the process. It's not changing the setup at all. So yeah, I'm totally impressed, and in fact, I'm eager to get the recording so I can watch it again. We might mention we're going to be posting these recordings. We'll be posting the recordings to the YouTube channel. And let me be clear, recordings of these Thursday sessions. I think today is the 4th one, if I'm not mistaken. So there, if you would like to go out and review them, which is a great idea, be sure to check the YouTube channel, and those should be out there within the next few days. And that's one thing that we've had as a priority to record each of these sessions, so you can't take advantage of it later. All right, again, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, I appreciate everyone hanging in there to watch this. Yeah, and again, I put a lot of other things on the chart to trade these things live, because there's a lot of signals that you might see, well, gee, that one didn't go anywhere. Well, there's ways to handle that. But just for simplicity's sake, I didn't want to clutter the chart up any more than I had to. And Jerry, with that, I am going to mute my mic.
All right, thanks again, Dave. Appreciate it.
You are very welcome. And you'll go ahead and take the video back, and I will be done.